Hi there, Frank here for premium members for the trading day of May the 7th, 2025, a Wednesday. So it's very late now, 1:30 a.m. Eastern Time, so I'll be very quick and somewhat straightforward. So listen carefully for the next 2 minutes if you want to reap benefits from this information tomorrow, in the next session that is, and perhaps for the rest of the week. So, first of all, 2 p.m. Eastern Time Fed announcement. The market is already getting ready, and probably some of the markets might burst like a volcano upon the news. Be careful, there's volatility, but when the dust settles, the expected outcome, I think, you will see on the charts. Let's go one by one. Yes, I can tell you where I'm planning to go in, where I'm planning to come out from the trade. The only thing I cannot comment on is your size. Sizing a trade is individual. Nobody can tell you. You're the only one who knows what the size should be, whether it should be a micro or 1 contract or 20 contracts. That's just a little math. You can do it in 10 seconds, or if not, then Remek converter indicator can give you the exact figure, which can also be seen here in the rightmost corner or column here in the Market Scanner Pro. So you know all the information that you need to do this job. Here's the ES. Upon a trigger, I'll be aiming 5800. We discussed this before. If you don't want to wait, then the trigger is already here on the 4-hour chart. Now, before you say, I don't trade that chart, well, there's nothing we can say about that. The market is the market. It does what it does, and this setup is on the 4-hour chart. That's all. That's how I see it. And intraday, the action is expected to be boring up to 2 p.m., at which time there will be immense candles, probably intraday candles, that is, up and down, which can be safely ignored because this market is expected to be up by the close and perhaps by tomorrow morning, but probably by the close. It could even get to 5,800 before 4 p.m. Of course, nobody knows the future, but that's what the technical information, price information is telling us. Okay, moving on to currencies. A quick review. All of them are set up or setting up for a move to the upside. Beautiful setup here. Ignore the short. This is a long setup on the 6E, and but this is basically a trade on the daily chart. That's how I would look at it. 6A, we're already long. We're just waiting for the move to really become even more beautiful than it is now. And the same thing on the 6 cent triggered. Here we have the mathematical signal. This, what we do, simply works. I cannot put it in any other way. 6C Canadian dollar, horizontal consolidation. We expect a burst to the upside. Look at the price action on the 4-hour chart. We were here, down here, when we last talked about it. Since then, we have constructive price action to the upside, and the daily is expected to trigger. Beautiful. Let's move on to some other markets here. Gold cannot wait. Gold is another market where we had a top tail, but I think that top tail we had 1 week. Looks like gold is just impatient, and understandably so, based on the situation in the U.S. We can expect higher gold prices. Who knows how high? 5, 10, who knows? We're just going step by step, and this is a step in front of us right now. Silver is next. Of course, we do not know the future, but what this looks like, first of all, our analysis. I hope you can believe me now, because we've done this hundreds and hundreds of times in the past. I said this is expected to fail, this pattern, and it has failed. Now we can say it has failed. This is triggering. This analysis is just spot on. That's how this works. And I would say that upon the news, even before, we can easily get to 36 quickly if this breaks here, DAM breaks here. So that's how I see silver. And I'm not even going to look at the agricultural ZCZL. Who cares? We have enough to do. So this is the job. To quote a trading legend, all that matters in trading is what we do. So let's do it. Back in the morning. Until then, mindful trading.